Dan, you get to ask a question?
Yes, Mr. Keenan. In the last few days in the papers, there's been very heavy coverage of street works. And you're touting that as a great means of economic development. I've seen the story before. You were executive director for a previous administration, and we had a massive redevelopment plan for the Quincy shipyard. And there was no firm contracts, as there is no firm contracts of tenants coming in. And in the end, the taxpayers were soaked for $97 million, and the jobs were promised, good union jobs, never materialized. And it looks like the same deal all over again. I asked you, where are the jobs from the shipyard, and what's different this than the shipyard?
I think there's a lot different. First off, I wasn't the mayor of the city of Quincy when the shipyard deal, if I can just, I wasn't the mayor of the city of Quincy. And my own personal opinion on that, and I expressed my personal opinion during the course of my time as executive secretary, that I didn't think was a good project for the city of Quincy. I didn't think that Soteris Emanuel was somebody that could be trusted. It was my opinion, I expressed it. The mayor has his opinion, and he proceeded. And I worked on other projects in the city while that project was going on its own track. I made my position very clear on it. Why is this different? Well, we're going to find out why it's different. We have been presented with a $1.2 billion proposal. It's in the form of a land disposition agreement. We're going to go through that very closely. We have put an outstanding team of experts together to review this proposal. They have been working on it and negotiating it. That's something that wasn't done on the shipyard deal back in the late 1990s. So we do have a team of experts working on it. Again, a very different situation. These particular developers have a record of accomplishment. I've checked down in West Hartford where they did their last project. The reviews that they get from that project are outstanding. The person who developed the shipyard could not produce recommendations like that. So I think they're very different. I agree that the situation at the shipyard was unfortunate. I think this is a very different project. I'm very optimistic. And in the grand scheme of the economy, when you talk about $1.2 billion, people talk about casinos being great for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This is a significantly larger project, and the economic benefits to Quincy, Braintree, Abington, Rockland, Holbrook, Milton, all the towns in the area are enormous. But we will do the hard work to make sure that it passes muster in a financial sense.
Thank you. Dan, did you want to ask Laura the same question?
No, I'll just rebut. There's two models for economic development. One was used actually in Quincy, down in South Quincy, where developers came and said they want to create Crown Colony. They had the jobs, they had the tenants, they had the businesses, they built it, and government provided the infrastructure. The program they're proposing for Quincy Center is more like a field of dreams. Build it, they will come. There's no tenants lined up. There's nothing lined up except a proposal, which could cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. I don't see any contracts, any companies, or anybody that wants to join it. It could be a very expensive thing for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura, did you have something you wanted to say about that?
I sure do. I am so concerned about this project. And for the viewers in Braintree, I'm sorry that we're talking about some examples from Quincy, but I think it's helpful in seeing how we would govern. And in the current administration in Quincy, in case you don't know, the mayor is John Keenan's brother-in-law. And they've made this arrangement with Streetworks, who's actually bought up like 80% of our downtown right now in anticipation of the project. I wonder how anyone decided that this was our most important priority. My children go to school in shorts in freezing weather because the heat is blasting in their schools and they have to open the windows. Our libraries are barely open because of the budget crisis. Last year, we had a $9 million shortfall in our schools. 230 teachers received pink slips. I'm worried about reconfiguring our downtown in a way that we don't really need, with some fancy people from New York who came in and decided that our downtown completely needed to be changed. And I wonder how much money in campaign funds Mr. Keenan got from the employees of Streetworks. Well, he was at a fundraiser the other night. I was at an environmental meeting where the Streetworks developers were talking about an environmental project, and it was very concerning. It doesn't seem like we're going to get a whole lot out of this at all, and we've traded away a lot of public resources for a Ponzi scheme.
Okay, thank you. John, I'm going to let you respond to that.
First off, how much have I received in campaign donations? Zero. Nothing. Not a dime. And as far as the project and the balancing the priorities in the city of Quincy, the downtown area right now is an economic drain on the city of Quincy. If you go into other business districts, if you go into residential districts, there is a net gain from the taxes that people pay. The downtown, it is a drain. It is costing us money, costing taxpayers money every single day. And if you think the downtown is a good situation right now, then the idea of what's going to happen to the schools, they're only going to get worse because the resources aren't there. This is a project that does not expose the taxpayers of the city at the outset. There are built-in safeguards that will be reviewed and studied. There is no upfront tax money from the city of Quincy. And secondly, it will be a tax generator if it works. And it's an if. I understand that it's an if at this stage. But if it works, it will generate taxes for our schools, for our police, for our fire, for our neighborhoods. The alternative is to let the drain continue so that it does continue to impact our schools and all other priorities in the city of Quincy. We can't continue on the path we're at, and I'm welcome to any ideas that my opponents would have as to how to redevelop, because I think it's significant, because we're also looking in Weymouth Landing, which is of a concern to East Braintree, some development proposals there. So I think we have to look at things, and it's easy to say no. It's harder to say, let's do the hard work and come up with a proposal, and that's what we're doing. And I'm excited about it. I'm very, very about it.
Okay, thank you.